What if I told you Jesus came to abolish religion? What if I told you voting Republican really wasn't his mission? What if I told you Republican doesn't automatically mean Christian, and just because you call someone blind doesn't automatically give you vision? I mean, if religion is so great, why has it started so many wars? Why does it build up huge churches but fails to feed the poor? Tell single mom God doesn't love them just because they've had a divorce. But in the Old Testament, God actually calls religious people whores. Religion might preach grace, but another thing they practice tend to ridicule God's people. They did it to John the Baptist. They can't fix their problems, and so they just mask it, not realizing religion's like spraying perfume on a casket. See the problem with religion? It never gets to the core. It's just behavior modification. Like a long list of chores, like dress up the outside and make it look nice and neat. But it's funny what they use to do to mummies while the corpse rots underneath. Now I ain't judging, I'm just saying, quit putting a fake look because there's a problem if people know you're Christian by your Facebook. I mean, in every other aspect of life, you know that logic's unworthy. It's just like saying you play for the Lakers just because you bought a jersey. You see, this is what it was to me, but no one seemed to be to me acting like a church kid. Well, addicted to pornography, see on Sunday I'd go to church, but Saturday getting faded and acting as if simply created just having sex to get wasted. See, I spent my whole life building this facade of neatness, but now I know Jesus. I boast in my weakness. Because if grace is water, then a church should be an ocean. If it's not a museum for good people, it's a hospital for broken, which means I don't have to hide in my failure. I do have to hide in my sin, because it doesn't depend on me, it depends on Him. See, because when I was God's enemy, and certainly not a fan, He looked down and said, I want that man, which is why Jesus hated religion, for He called it fools. Don't you see so much better than just following some rules? Now let me clarify. I love the church. I love the Bible. And yes, I believe in sin. But Jesus came to your church and would say they actually let Him in. See, remember He was called a glutton, a drunkard by religion men. But the Son of God never supported His self-righteous. Not now, not then.
What if I told you Jesus came to abolish religion? Then I'd probably say you haven't read the New Testament very carefully. Jesus is pretty clear in Matthew 5:17 when He says, Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have come not to abolish, but to fulfill. The law, of course, began of the law of Moses, i.e. in the Old Covenant, i.e. religion. The Old Testament, God actually calls religious people whores. Yes, God calls religious people whores in the Old Testament when they were being unfaithful to the law. In other words, when they were disobeying the laws of their religion. Their religion given to them by God, by the way. In the New Testament, Jesus refers to the scribes and Pharisees as hypocrites and awful a lot. But remember, the definition of hypocrites is a person who acts in contradiction of his or her started beliefs or feelings. Jesus actually called the disciples that they should do what the scribes of Pharisees tell them.